Alright, good morning. So it's about 7 o'clock and we're all packed up and ready to go. And yeah, it wasn't actually too cold last night. Obviously, I got my layers on, but with the layers on, I've been fine. So it wasn't cold in the night. Had some really beautiful stars. I was just cowboy camping, and it's a nice place to camp. So a little bit of condensation because when you camp near water, like camping right next to this lake, yeah, I don't know, you just end up with condensation. So I have my quilt is a little bit damp and so with my ground sheet, but yeah, anyway, good night's sleep and about to get moving. Only like 5 miles or 4 miles left on the Circle of Towers alternate, and then we'll be back on the main CDT line. And yesterday, the elevation gain was definitely a bit tough, like, for George with the altitude and all that. And I think this morning there's not going to be too much elevation. I think it's mostly like a gradual downhill, I'm pretty sure, to get back to the main CDT. And then after that, um, I don't think there's too much elevation for a bit, at least for the first part of the day. So I haven't looked too much at the maps, but should be not too bad today. And the views down here at the lake are really beautiful by these cliffs. And hopefully we get some more really nice views as we finish this Circle of Towers alternate. Cruisy, cruisy.
Yeah, it says cross the river.
So as you've seen, we've had some really amazing views on this Circle of Towers alternate. It's been really beautiful with the cliffs, and it's honestly just feels so bizarre to be here having been in the desert so recently, and it was so flat, and all of a sudden you got these jagged peaks. It reminds me kind of going into the Gila River, just obviously it's different, but like, yeah, just the contrast of being in the barren desert with not many water sources to having flowing water everywhere and these huge cliffs. It's really cool. But yeah, so we're almost finished with the Circular Towers alternate, and then we'll be, you know, back on the CDT red line, which I'm sure is probably really beautiful as well. So we'll see what's up ahead. But I know that in just a couple of days we'll be doing another alternate called Knapsack Col, and Knapsack Col is also supposed to be absolutely spectacular. I think some people might even say that Knapsack Col is better than Circular Towers, but I'm sure Knapsack Col is beautiful, so looking forward to that as well. And George has been doing pretty well. I mean, it's where we camped last night, it was almost at 11,000 feet. So imagine camping at 11,000 feet and actually hiking over those passes, which are like 11,500, when you've flown here straight from sea level from London. And London's also really flat, so he's not used to all the uphills. But yeah, he's holding up really well, so yeah. And if you're curious also, I'm not sure if I mentioned what like elevations or altitudes that I was at in the Great Basin, but I know that the lowest point in the Great Basin, I think, was around 6,500 feet. So quite a big difference. I mean, almost twice as high up here. Not quite, but yeah, 6,500 feet. And a lot of it was around like 7,000 feet in the desert. And yeah, now we're up to like 10,000 and beyond that. So big difference.
Very crisp.
Yeah.
Getting drift.
So the trail's been cruisy so far all day. It's like 2 p.m. now, and I'm thinking we're gonna try and do hopefully another like 12 miles, but we'll see. Depends how George is feeling a bit later today, because
in about 11 miles is the top of a pass. So I guess we probably start going uphill on that pass in like 9 miles from here. It's called Hat Pass. Nothing crazy. I think you only have to gain like 1,000 feet, but still. And then my hope is that we can get over that and then go down the other side and camp by the lake on the other side of Hat Pass. But yeah, so far the trail's been really nice, really well maintained. No blowdowns really. There's also barely any mosquitoes. There haven't really been barely any mosquitoes in the Wind River Range so far. I heard that they would be really bad, but it's been some, but nothing crazy. But maybe I shouldn't say that, because that probably means that up ahead it's a lot worse, but we'll see. And it is really beautiful out here, but part of me does wish that I was on like the Wind River High route or something like that, or like just one of the other routes that you can take where you can stay high, you know, go over some peaks which I think are above 13,000 feet, and you know, stay on the ridge lines, do some scrambling. But it would add a lot of time because it's very slow going. A lot of that there's like just no trail. You just you know, route finding and scrambling on ridges. It would be fun, but I think it's the kind of thing where maybe I'd like to come back to the Wind River Range sometime, come back here and do the Wind River High route. It's called the Skirker High route, the one that I was looking at, mapped out by Andrew Skirker, who's quite a well-known hiker guy. It's really, you know, I gotta say, it's so bizarre just going through the desert for like 200 miles and then you just end up in a place like this. Like I said before, it's kind of like when you get to the Gila River in New Mexico. You just feel like immense gratitude for the abundance of running water and just all the greenery and life out here. It's in stark contrast to the barren, dry desert. Hey,
Good afternoon.
Yeah, just come straight across. It's not that deep. It was a little bit above my knees, but nice. Alright, so we've done about 22 miles so far today, which is pretty solid. And we just took about an hour long break, ate some food, chilled out for a bit by this lake, and we're still on the move, so probably going to hit 23, potentially 24 miles today. We'll see how it goes. It's already 7 o'clock, so probably only at most another 2 more miles. But yeah, George was feeling pretty exhausted. I think, we didn't stop for quite a long time. We were kind of just constantly moving, but it was like fairly level trail, some small ups and downs. So I figured we were able to push some miles. But yeah, the thing is, from here, it's kind of uphill for about 2 miles. So not sure if we should really push over all the way over the pass, but we'll see how George is feeling on the way up and see if we find somewhere to camp. But pretty solid day, crushing miles, and tomorrow we should be heading into Pinedale and get some food, get a couple of pints, stay at that jackalope like hostel / motel again, so that should be nice. But yeah, it's probably pretty much it for today. Just gonna get this last little bit of hiking in and then find somewhere to camp. So I think those mountains in the distance is probably where we came from today. I think we did about 24 miles. Pretty solid day. Camping on top of Hat Pass here.